and welcome to Singers Advice. My name is Sarah Brickel and I'm a singer, songwriter and vocal coach. I've spent many years in the industry and I'm here to share with you the tips, advice and techniques that I've learned along the way. So let's get started with lesson 5, Constriction and Retraction. So I'd like to talk to you today about constriction and retraction. So what do I mean by that? What am I talking about? Well, constriction is what we definitely don't want to be happening in the voice, and retraction is what we do want to be happening. So basically constriction is when the larynx constricts. So it does want to do that. The higher we sing, the larynx naturally just constricts. So constriction and retraction. Well, constriction is when the voice is just going, even that sound, that sound, we don't want to do that. That is very damaging for the voice. It completely dries out your throat. You're just going to come up with all kinds of problems if you do that with your voice. But this is also the reason why people have problems, you know, in their higher register, trying to belt or twang or something like that, because we start to constrict and then the sound can't get through and then it flips into all kind of different voice qualities that we're not actually wanting to happen. So basically, retraction is very open. Think about, you can either think about doing kind of yawn, or we can think about a laugh. So think about doing a silent laugh. So when you go, and you can feel that bit of your in here just kind of widening out. So just do a little laugh, ha 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 ha, and it's kind of that feeling inside, that silent laugh. You can kind of feel the space opening up. Okay, a little bit weird at first, but just give it a little try out. Just try and do a little laugh. So in fact, do me a hard laugh. We're going to go ha, and that feeling that you feel at the end, that ha, open, that's what we're aiming for, okay? So we're going to do a little exercise on an E sound. Just find a very comfortable place to sing it. We're just going to go, this is going to be neutral, this is constriction, back to neutral, and then retraction. Okay, and we want to imagine that that is what's happening in there with those folds, okay? So we're going to go E, then we're going to turn our thumbs inwards, we're going to constrict, so we're going to go E, E, back to there, okay, back to neutral, which is just your normal singing voice, okay. Then we're going to try and retract, so have a listen. E, do you hear the difference? So going from E, it just opens out the sound. Now, watch out, you're not trying to make the sound any louder, you're not pushing the volume, you're not lowering the larynx, because that would sound like this. E, we don't want that, we're not going ugh. We don't want that sound, we just want to widen, we just want to open it up. So let's just do that again. So neutral, constriction, neutral, retraction. Let's try it again. E, E. And once you've got that feeling, you just got to hold it there. You can just feel it, you'll know, you'll feel it and you'll hear it. It can take a while to get to that place if you're not used to doing that. Another good way to get there is to also just think about the way that you speak. Some people naturally constrict when they speak, some people naturally retract. I've got quite a naturally retracted voice in most of how I speak. Sometimes I probably don't like that at the end of the day, but you know, you've got to really think about if you can kind of walk around talking like that a little bit, which would be a bit strange, but that is what we're trying to do. That is the sound that we're trying to get to enable us then to use that when we're using another vocal technique. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little example of how you might use retraction in a song. So I'm going to just take a little bit from Corinne Bailey Rae's Put Your Records On. Now, I'm just going to do the chorus and really listen to like the higher part, so it's switching up there, and just thinking about retracting. So I'm going to go, girl, put your records on, tell me your favourite song, you go ahead, let your hair down. So use that retraction to make that nice and smooth and to get up there. If I just kind of let my voice constrict, then it might sound like this. Girl, put your records on, tell me your favourite song, you go ahead, let your hair down. So instead we want, you go ahead, let your hair down. Really using that retraction, instead of going, you go ahead, let your hair down. Yeah? So just, even in neutral voice, some people might find that bit, you go ahead, let your hair down. Okay, I'm using a little bit of twang in there. But use that retraction. Things, you know, even in your lower register. So let's take the first bit. 3 little birds sat at my window, and they told me I don't need to worry. Keeping it retracted instead of it'll give you a nice clear sound and a very safe sound. So the more you can practice that, the better your voice is going to feel as well when you're singing. So just really, really give that a go. So we'll talk a little bit more about constriction and retraction when we go on to talking about more voice qualities. So the next video I'm going to talk about twang, then I'm going to talk about belt. Now retraction is really, 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 really important in those voice qualities in order to get them to sustain them really, because we don't want to crack, we don't want to lose that place. So keep practicing that. So remember, neutral, constriction, retraction, and just feeling that openness. We want to widen it. So so just keep at it and you'll get it. Thank you very much for joining me on Singers Advice. If you'd like to email me about any of the things I've talked about today or on my other videos or any other vocal problems you might be having, then feel free. It's sarah@singersadvice.com. So I'll see you next time at Singers Advice.